Hello gamers, and today we're going to count down the Terraria top 5 hard mode bosses. They're the elder siblings of the previous bosses, and they're a lot tougher with a lot more hit points. But these guys aren't too difficult if you do things just right. Today, let's go ahead and count them down. Starting off with number 5. The Destroyer is the first hard mode boss you really come across against, and he's not the most difficult thing depending upon what platform you're on, but he can be quite challenging to say the least. Now he's been nerfed and fixed several times, and while his little probes don't drop hearts like they used to, he can be pretty easy again with the right weapon. With the right items and strategy, you can defeat the Destroyer without too much difficulty. But just keep an eye out for him because he can be trouble if you underestimate him. Number 4. Skeletron Prime is in this slot because he is a bit of a challenge, but he's not the hardest. Now granted, he can be taken out with a nice ranged weapon like the Mega Shark, or even some other weapons as well. But at the same time, the Skeletron Prime does have a lot more hit points and can prolong a fight into the early morning, which won't go very well to say the least. Coming up with a strategy is a must, and avoiding one or two of his weapons is a must as well because they can do pretty good damage. But overall, he's not that difficult, and he's a nice upgrade over the previous Skeletron, so it's kinda cool to see that. Number 3. Once again, depending upon which version you're playing, the twins can be either easy or very difficult. On the PC, they're about the middle ground, so it's not too bad. On the console, they're a little bit more difficult, so that's something to keep an eye out on. No pun intended. But the twins offer a fairly good challenge regardless of the situation, and it's also pretty good to come up with a strategy with these guys, because if not, you can find yourself in a world of hurt. Generally, you want to kill Spasmatism first, since he's spewing stuff everywhere and just being a real pain, followed by Retinizer. But don't be fooled by Retinizer because his second mode can be quite crazy. As he gets closer to death, he fires crazy amounts of lasers, so by far that is very challenging, not easy to say at all. Number 2. While not all that difficult, Plantera does deserve a slot on this list, and the number 2 fits it pretty well. Now generally it's not too hard in a large area underground, but it can be quite difficult if you fight it in tunnels and pathways that are really small. So you kind of want to have a big general area for the Plantera when you come to fight it. If you have vampire knives, then generally you're going to have an easy time of going with it, but unfortunately you won't get vampire knives until after you beat it. Go figure. Plantera's first stage can be a little bit tricky as it spits seeds the more damage it takes, along with little spiky balls. The second stage isn't too bad, but mainly it's a rage part where he flies around, trying to go ahead and take large chunks of health out of you, with little tiny flowers to boot. So basically once you get to the burn stage, keep an eye out for that. Overall, Plantera is a nice little challenge, but it's not too difficult. Definitely deserving though of the number 2 spot. And finally, number 1. When this list first came out, everyone probably thought he would be here, and here he is at number 1. The Dukefish. What can you say about a flying shark pig other than he's pretty dang challenging? Now you have to come up with a strategy and watch as he go ahead and executes his attacks, but he can be defeated. It's going to take some time, may take some practice, and a little bit of luck, but he can be defeated with some time, of course. Generally, the Duke's going to require you to do a lot of kiting, so don't sit around trying to stand still and take him out. It's not happening. You're going to have to move about, dodge his attacks, and even have a few potions on hand just in case. Again, this guy takes large chunks of health and doesn't care about it. He's a flying pig shark, for God's sakes. What are you going to do about that? In all seriousness though, it's a fun encounter. While challenging, can be done, and very rewarding if you can get some of his fallen items. So with that, Dukefish, you deserve the top spot. Thanks for some fun, buddy. You deserve it. That's going to do it for our top 5 Terraria hard mode bosses. I didn't include any of the so-called bosses from the moon waves, because while they have a lot of health, they're not a traditional boss in the sense of Dukefish, Skeletron Prime, and everything else. So maybe we could do something like that at a later time, but for now, we're going to give a shout out to those true hard mode bosses that really stand out and make you work for it. Anyway, have yourselves a wonderful day. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. I highly appreciate it. Put your list down below in the comments section. I would love to hear from you. Also, be sure to subscribe for more top 5s, more Let's Plays, and everything else because we've got a whole bunch here on the channel. Thank you, and I will see you again next time.